Hey everyone, it's Nova, and welcome to Nancy Drew, the White Wolf of Icicle Creek. Uh, Believe it or not, when I first started this channel, I was actually going to make a Nancy Drew game, one of the first series on the channel. And I actually had a different game in mind. I was actually going to play, the very first Nancy Drew game that I ever played, which was, Danger by Design. But for some reason, I could not figure out how to get the game to record. Like, it just refused to record on Fraps and even on OBS Studio. Like, it just would not record. And then I had a problem with the game immediately behind that. But this is the first game that I noticed that will actually record in Fraps. So I figured I would give this one a go. Plus, it's sort of fitting because this is I think the 16th game in the series, and it takes place in Canada, up in the mountains where there's snow, and it's winter. Some places it's actually snowed, or there actually is snow still on the ground, and I thought it would be interesting. I want to get back into doing my point and click adventure games, and I figured this would be a fun series to do on the channel. I love the Nancy Drew game series, and I haven't played this one in a while, so it'll be nice to revisit the series. I do have plans on actually doing all of the Nancy Drew games, like starting from Secrets Can Kill all the way up to the most recent game, which I'm trying to remember. I think it's the one about Sea of Darkness. I'm not sure if Midnight at Salem has actually come out yet or not. I'm going to have to research that. But in any event, let's get started.
I'm Nancy Drew. Since you can tell a lot about a person by where he or she lives, I thought I'd introduce myself by showing you my room. As you can see, I keep it pretty neat. Of course, I don't spend that much time in here. I always seem to be off solving mysteries. Anyway, here's my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous, and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That will tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
Alright, so this is basically how a lot of the Nancy Drew games start, with her in her room at home. And the desks will change in appearance over the course of games. It'll basically feature memorabilia of her past case. Like this one, I think is from the Haunted Carousel. This one, I think, is from the Legend of Kapu Cave or something like that, when she went to Hawaii. This one might be from the Deception Island game, the one where she goes, I think, to the northeast of the US or northwest of the US, where basically she goes to like a marine park place. But I'm just going to show you briefly the different things on her desk if you've never actually seen a Nancy Drew point and click game before. So here's her scrapbook, and this basically, like, if I clicked on each thing here, it'll give me more information on her previous cases. Like, I just mentioned the Haunted Carousel, so if I click on it, this is basically the case file telling you more about that previous game. So I'm not actually going to really flip through all of that because, again, I'm going to visit each game in the series in time. But this is the one that I actually wanted to start off on the channel, Danger by Design, because it was the first Nancy Drew game that I ever played, but I couldn't get it to record. And then, oh, it's the Creature of Kapu Cave. Alright, I was close. And yeah, that one I had trouble with doing too, so. It's interesting to note that you don't necessarily have to play the games in order to enjoy, the series. The only thing at most is that sometimes previous characters or incidents might be brought up in conversation, but they're not crucial to understanding the story or being able to play the game. It's just, you know, a little interesting, I guess you could say, Easter eggs. And then this is basically a tutorial book that shows you how to play the Nancy Drew game, but I'll kind of explain things as we go along. And then here's our current case file. So let's read it up. Alright, so our current assignment: head to the Icicle Creek Lodge, a small guest lodge deep in the Canadian Rockies of Alberta, Canada, and try to figure out why so many accidents have been happening there. The woman who runs the lodge, Chantel Monquet? Hopefully they'll say her name in the game, and I'll know how to pronounce it, called me out of the blue, saying that Bet and Ed Rowley from Shadow Ranch had recommended me. See? Look at that. Those two characters and the whole Shadow Ranch thing, I think, is from game number 10. So I think I still have that game. I have to check my my shelves where I have all my games stacked and see. That particular game I actually have on disc. I don't have most of the Nancy Drew games on disc. Most of them are downloads. In any event, she sounded so desperate that I couldn't refuse. She said she was on her way to Edmonton to meet with her lawyers, so her handyman, Ollie Randall, will pick me up at the airport. She told me it's been really cold and snowy there, and I should pack accordingly. And then she said something about a wolf. The connection was getting really bad, and I could barely hear her, but I'm pretty sure she used the word prowling, or was it howling, along with dangerous and be careful. Accidents are one thing, but wild animals? I hope I know what I'm getting into. So yeah. And then how you start off each game, you click on the plane ticket or whatever item is there. It's usually a plane ticket. And it'll ask you about the difficulty level. The junior level provides a lot of help and hints, and more experienced players may enjoy playing the senior level first. Okay, so even though I've had experience with Nancy Drew games before and whatnot, I'm not going to kid myself. I am not Argle Frump. Okay, I am not that skilled in the games like that. So I'm going to pick Junior, because I'm going to need all the help I can get.
When Chantal told me you were just a young thing, well, I thought she was pulling my leg. But you're not much older than my little girl, Freddie.
Well, if one of the people at the lodge is to blame for all those accidents, Chantal thinks somebody like me has a better chance of figuring out who it is than somebody more, you know, hard-nosed.
Chantal has a bad habit of making up her mind without thinking things clear through. No need for you to tell her I said that, of course.
Is she still in Edmonton?
Afraid so. Insurance company's giving her and her lawyers a real hard time. Left running the lodge up to me. Which is why I'm not real crazy about the idea of having somebody new underfoot, especially if something else happens.
I won't be underfoot, Mr. Randall, and I may be young, but I'm no novice when it comes to solving mysteries.
We're here, so you'll get to prove yourself soon enough.
Oh, hell no.
You hear that?
Yep.
Well, then, what was that?
What is this, Die Hard?
No, ma'am. Everyone here at the lodge is accounted for.
That's where Elsa and Becky had been living. Guess it was a good thing they quit after all. Elsa was my maid and Becky was my cook. Does the sheriff have any idea why the bunkhouse exploded?
He said he'd know more after the lab was done running tests on the debris he'd collected. He did say the blast was pretty powerful.
One of his deputies found the knob to the back door clear out on the highway.
Whoa.
That does it. Nancy, you have to find out who or what is behind these incidents, and you have to do it fast.
You sure you don't want to give your daddy a call?
My dad runs a whole chain of resorts, Ollie. If you think I'm going to admit to him that I can't handle running just one, guess again. Besides, Nancy comes highly recommended, and I'm sure she's got a foolproof plan for getting to the bottom of this. Don't you, Nancy?
Well, I was thinking that maybe I'd just be your new maid.
What?
You want to be my maid?
That would give me access to everyone's room, and I could question people without making them overly suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
Yeah, it is.
All right, you're my new maid. In fact, you're cook,
Whoa,
too.
whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know
Your
about that.
cook?
Well, that way, Ollie can stop pretending he can even read a recipe, let alone follow one. You'll have even more excuses to talk to the guests, and I won't have to pay anyone.
Well, I think that's a fine idea, man.
I would like
Now,
to get
we're
paid
not
for this.
taking any more guests until this accident thing is cleared up. So I want both of you to make sure that the 4 guests we have are well taken care of. Especially that Olympic caliber cross-country skier from Fredonia, Yanni Volstaya. The flair he brings to the lodge is just what I need to attract the European jet-setting crowd.
I'm gonna be pretty busy trying to get rid of that wolf, Chantal.
We heard it howl last night, just before the bunkhouse blew up.
Well, do whatever you have to, Ollie. Oh, and Nancy, I want you to call this police detective I've hired as a consultant. I put his number on the phone there at the lodge. In fact, I think you know him. Tino Balducci? I gotta go. My lawyer's here. Good luck, you guys, and keep me posted. Coming!
Tino Balducci.
I'll get you a master key and leave it in your room. If you need anything else, I'll be in the basement.
Okay. Well then. And you know, I just noticed something. That whole conversation just happened on speakerphone. Now, supposedly, there's somebody going around deliberately sabotaging things at the lodge. Why was that on speakerphone so that now everybody who was in earshot heard us just concoct this plan that Nancy isn't a real cook and maid? Like, really? What were they thinking? Oh. Okay. In any event, here's our, UI, guys. We have the obvious buttons that I'm going to use, such as exiting the game, saving, loading, options, which I went in to tweak the sound. We have our checklist, or task list, which helps me to keep track of the things that I have to do or have done. So, like, I read the case file, so I'm going to go ahead and check that off.
Check.
And get the master key. Let's see.
Oops, haven't done that.
Okay, so then Nancy tells you that you've completed a task or you haven't completed a task. So then that's that. Definitely going to be referring back to that pretty often. Here's our journal, which Nancy will automatically write down things that she notices when she talks to people or when she finds stuff. So that'll be good to refer back to every now and again. And then she'll also write down or have written down phone numbers for people that she can call. So here's Ned's number, and Ned is Nancy's boyfriend. So basically, if we get stuck, we can call him. And he can sometimes give us tips or suggestions on what to do next. And then here's our inventory. And again, we can go back into the case file and read up on what we have to do. And here is what I assume is the master key. So let me see if I can open this. Yep. Okay, great. Excuse me. Got the hiccups. Alright. Oh, I just noticed too, at the top. In this particular game, I'm trying to remember if this happened in the previous game too. We have to monitor what we're wearing when we're outside of the lodge, because we can literally freeze to death. That's one way you can actually die in this game. And then we have a clock, which I'm going to show you now why that's important. Oh.
This must be the key Ollie said he'd leave for me.
Oh, okay, this is the master key. So the other key was just for my cabinet. Gotcha.
And this must be a list of which guest is in what room. That'll come in handy.
Yes, it will. Okay, so looks like the sports star is in this bird room. Guadalupe is in this room with the fruit. I think that's some kind of fruit. Bill Kessler is in this room with the... I can't tell if that's supposed to be a bobcat or a wolf. Lou is in the room with the beaver. And then the room with the fish is empty. Okay, good to know. Alright, what's this? Employee instructions, maid duties, daily cleaning. Pick up laundry bag at the front desk, available after 5:45. Enter and clean only the rooms displaying the housekeeping sign. Make the beds. Remove used towels and washcloths. And all rooms displaying the housekeeping sign must be cleaned no later than noon. When finished, drop the laundry bag down the chute at the top of the stairs by the restroom. Okay.
Skating pond maintenance. Oh, looks like I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything while I'm here.
Oh god, I remember this stupid puzzle. Ugh. Alright, Pool must be shoveled after after every snowfall. Warning, some sections of ice will be very thin due to hot spring activity. Pay close attention to the color of the ice and only shovel off those areas which are safe to skate on. The shade of the ice will reveal how many adjacent ice grids have dangerously thin ice. Be sure to mark those areas with an orange safety cone and to never step on one. Okay. And then here's a diagram showing, so I already know I'm going to end up messing this up several times. This is basically just like that old game, Minesweeper, that used to be on like those really, I guess nowadays it's considered ancient computers, but I never really got the hang of that game growing up, so naturally this puzzle was a nightmare for me to do.
Report all avalanches to the Avalanche Patrol.
Well, that sounds lovely. And I'm pretty sure Nancy just automatically wrote down that number for the Avalanche Patrol. We'll find out in a moment. Criminal activity. Report any and all criminal activity observed in the vicinity of Icicle Creek Lodge to Sheriff Mahakin. Okay. Sauna. Employees should remember that heat and moisture sometimes causes the door to the sauna to stick, and should periodically check to make sure that no guests are stuck inside. Wow, that sounds dangerous. That should be looked into. Nobody should get stuck in there, and then it's mandated that you check to make sure nobody... Oh yeah, the cooking. Breakfast is served from 7 to 8:15 a.m. Lunch is served from noon to 1. Dinner is served from 6 to 7. For food preparation, please consult the manual in the kitchen. Alright, well right now it's 9:40, so since they said housekeeping is supposed to be done before noon, I think I better get going. And I know there's nothing in my room, so... Okay, so here's Chinook, which is empty. And I'm seeing signs down the hall, so... Oh, I thought somebody was knocking for a minute. Wait, what was... Okay, there's the restroom, and...
This must be where I drop the laundry bag after I'm done cleaning all the rooms.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Nancy.
That's not what goes here.
No, I'm trying to... Okay. Yeah, I was trying to close it. Alright, let's go downstairs. Now, I think they said that the laundry bag that I needed was behind a desk. So... grab that. And, oh, what is... My darling Elsa, remember how I told you that I love you more than anything? Well, that was true, but what's even truer is that I'm going to love you forever. Sometimes thinking about forever makes me dizzy. Like when I start thinking about the sky and how it doesn't stop at the moon or the sun, or even the Milky Way. But just keeps going and going and going. What are you, the Energizer Bunny? But when I think about you, forever seems totally cool, because it's one thing to just keep... What is with this guy? Keep going and going and going by yourself. But to keep going and going and going with somebody? That's awesome. Write me back as soon as you get this. I can't wait to see you next week. Love, forever, L. Okay.
Looks like Elsa was having major boyfriend problems.
Okay. Dearest Elsa, you said in your letter that you loved me forever back, but if that's true, why didn't you put off coming here to see me? When I read you weren't coming, I stopped and looked around because it felt like somebody had just walked up and stabbed me through the heart. I'm starting to get real jealous of that lodge you work at. You spend way, way, way more time there than you do with me, and I don't like it one bit. I can't help myself. I'm so in love with you, it's getting hard to see straight. And that's the truest thing I've ever told you. Come see me next week. Totally and completely yours, L. Yeah, he's a little bit much. Like, it's one thing to be, you know, really in love with somebody that you miss them a lot and stuff, but he sounds borderline, crazy. Dear Elsa, this time when I read your letter saying you weren't coming, I didn't get sad. I got mad. I can't believe you think working as a stupid maid at some stupid lodge for some stupid lady whose name I can't even pronounce is more important than spending time with me. If I didn't love you so much, I'd tell you to take a flying leap. But since I love you more than anything, I'll just have to do something else. Like maybe take your precious collection of troll dolls out of the box you stored in my garage and dump them down a disposal. Or maybe I'll sell them on eBay for a nickel apiece. I don't know how else to make you understand that I love you with all my heart and always will. L. Okay, so yeah, she really had some serious problems with this guy. Which now makes me wonder if this nut had anything to do with the accidents at the lodge. Like, he was so seemingly jealous of her. It's plausible.
Chantal, this is my formal notice of resignation. Please call me at 555-2383 if you expect any delay with a check. Elsa.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure Nancy probably wrote down her number. Let me confirm that, though. Yep, she wrote down the Avalanche Patrol, and she wrote down Elsa's number. Alright, so, good to know. Let me go ahead and get started exploring, not exploring, but doing these rooms. I'll actually do the exploring later. I just want to make sure I don't, forget and waste time with, my chores, because I do think you can get penalized for not doing your maid and cooking duties, you know, like my cover will get blown or something like that. And it looks like every other room in the lodge has the housekeeping sign, so great opportunity to sneak in. And this one I think was, who was it? Let's see. Okay, this is Lou's room. Gotta try and keep track of who's who. Alright, so let's make the bed. Done. Wish that worked in real life. Okay, turn around. What is this on his desk? The Call of the Wild. Interesting, he has a book about a wolf. Looks like he has snowshoes and some kind of college book. And a college bag. Okay, so he's clearly a college student. Paints. And looks like some kind of art set or chisel set. Okay, so he's some kind of artisan. Okay. Can I open this? Nope. Okay, fair enough. Oh wait, it probably won't work, but I'll try it. Nope, okay. So the master key only lets me get into their actual bedrooms. I can't actually root through their dresser. I'm trying to turn around so I can get to his towels. Come on. Let me go this way and then, okay, there we go. Alright, grab the towels. Alright, done. Okay, so that guy, that's the college student, I guess. This one, I think, was the Lady Guadalupe or something. Yeah, Guadalupe. No, wait. What am I talking about? This is... oh, the sports star. That's right. Okay. What the heck is this? I got a feeling this is a puzzle. I'm not even going to mess with that right now. Alright, enter. Okay, so let's make the bed. And what is this? Winter Sports Monthly. World Championship venue remains a mystery. All is common knowledge that the World Champion Crossings will take place in Alberta, Canada, the winter after next. Exactly where in Alberta is currently the sport's best kept secret. We'll be making a formal announcement next month, says Olivia Dorman, director of the event. When press explained the delay, she said, "Delay? There is no delay. We simply saw no reason to announce the venue any earlier. It is widely rumored that behind-the-scenes bidding by hotel and restaurant chains has held up the final decision, leading to criticism that the event has become more about commerce than competition. But Dorman refuses to comment on either charge. Despite Dorman's steadfast silence, there is growing speculation that the prestigious event will be held somewhere around Banff, specifically in the pristine countryside which borders Icicle Creek. Interesting. The fact that hotel owners and restaurateurs in the Icicle Creek area are extremely reluctant to discuss the competition leads considerable credence to the rumor, but only time will tell of Miss Dorman will tell. Oh, I read that wrong. Okay. And I guess that's all I'm going to get from this article. So, apparently this, sports competition is more than likely going to be held in the area, which is interesting. So, maybe somebody's upset that this event is happening here or doesn't want the event to happen here. That's going to be interesting. Alright, so Pish Posh. This is Bill's room. Okay, so what is Bill about? Okay. Alright. Sorry guys, it's taking me a little bit to get used to navigating around the game again, since it's been a while. Okay, what is on? No, turn around. Okay, so large machinery safety protocols, rudimentary geology, structure engineering. So he seems like he's into mechanical and engineering type stuff. Okay, and probably, you know, older than Lou, the college student. Alright, got the towels. Did I make the bed already? I don't remember. Yes, I did. Okay. So then that's just one more room left. And this is Guadalupe's room. Okay. So let's go and make her a bed. And what's on her? No, turn around. Interesting. She's got a magazine about Fredonian freaks out the competition. So is this the guy that the sports star that's at the lodge? Yep, it is. It's interesting too that there's certain sections underlined. It's like this lady's observing him. He hates to lose. I expect to win, and I always did. Knowing your enemy is the surest way to defeat him. I know some of my competitors better than I know myself. Some believes he studies his competitors so he can eliminate them. Interesting. It's interesting that she's been... I'm assuming it's her that underlined those sections of the article. I have to keep that in mind if a question comes up, or if she... What's down this way? Observe a boarhead. Okay, so this is what I was saying earlier. Cold warning, temperatures can be extreme and dangerous. Check the lobby for cold weather warnings and remember to bundle up. So I'm not going to go through this door because I'm pretty sure it'll set off an alarm and that'll be like a game over for me or something. But I'm going to go downstairs and dump off this laundry. Okay, that actually startled me a bit. I wasn't expecting the music to just kick off like that. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I'm so stupid. Go back upstairs. I forgot. I'm supposed to just dump it here. Okay. Done. Alright, and then check off. Alright,
That's
so
finished.
did that.
That's finished.
Did that.
Check.
Did that.
Been there, done that.
Did that.
Been there, done that.
Alright, so what I have to do next is I have to call Chantel and ask her more about the accidents. Because the only one that I know of is the one that we just literally witnessed the previous night. The bunker blowing up. Or the bunkhouse, whatever. And then speaking of which, I have to look for clues at the site of that blown up bunkhouse. And then I need to... what do you call it? I need to introduce myself to the other guests. So... Let's explore a bit. Because we got some time before lunch. And, yeah. So here's Icicle Creek Lodge. Here's Avalanche Ridge, which I'm not too fond of, the names, but I have a feeling they're going to make us go there. The bunkhouse is not too far from the lodge, so that's good. And then the skating pond is right there. The needle, wonder what that is. Okay, leave. Alright, so the phone is, ooh, computer. Okay, so here, oh, no, okay, I don't know what I thought. What is this? Guest lodge. Guest register. Okay, so we got this one, this one, this one, this one. So it looks like there were 1, 2, 3 people who checked out recently, so I'll have to keep that in mind.
Contents deleted. Wonder why.
Interesting. Okay. What is this? Bird information. Okay. And ice fishing. Alright, I'm pretty sure those are going to be puzzles. Oh, this is important. Alright, hypothermia risk. Green means it's safe to go. Yellow indicates caution that there's a chance of hypothermia with prolonged exposure. Orange indicates danger. Very high risk for hypothermia. Red, extreme danger. Very high risk for hypothermia within seconds. And then there's a number for the hospital. Okay, so if I recall right, come on, turn around. So this is one of the ways we can get out of the, I think this is the only way to get out of here. But here's the thing that they were talking about. So right now, we're straddling caution. So we would definitely have to make sure we're wearing a coat or something when we go out there. If it's in green, it would be okay. So basically the upper two are the ones we need to be careful about. So yeah, that's just that area. I think this door here leads to the basement, and then this leads to the rest of the lodge. So in the next episode, we're going to explore more of the lodge, and hopefully maybe meet some, if not all, of the other guests, and see what is going on in this place. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope to see you next time. Take care.